Call Me Didi, everyone. I'm your host Diva.
And I'm your host Sanchi, and let's get into today's episode. Today we have a guest. His name is Mohit. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me, both of you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming, Mohit. I'm going to introduce Mohit for our audience really quickly. Mohit immigrated to Australia 2 years ago from Nepal. He's a dynamic entrepreneur and an academic who became a lecturer of management and entrepreneurship just at the age of 24. He's also a founder of Sustainamatch, which is an open energy marketplace for carbon credits. Mohit has previously been a student in the Startmate Fellowship and a global shaper with the World Economic Forum. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you again, but I need a better answer.
Yeah.
How are you really?
Oh, should I answer honestly?
Yes.
Sleepy. But now I feel very energized. The good thing about this place is the couch. So this makes me feel good. But at times I just want to lie down, do nothing, and
Chill
enjoy
out.
this couch.
And how
I
are
can
you
take
in
this.
life?
Life? Oh, enjoying. Struggling here and there.
Yeah.
But I think that's very natural. But I'm loving life.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
One step at a time.
Why are you loving life?
Why am I loving life? That's a good question. Just. It's got no answer. I don't have any answer. I just, I realize that there's no other way than to love your life and move forward. Because there are other ways you can go and hate yourself, but that's not fun. And the only good way is to love yourself and love the life you have.
Yes. And where are the struggles coming from? Sorry, this is so like dark.
Struggles? Oh, no. The struggles come from everywhere.
Yeah.
I think struggles are the part of the life,
Yeah.
but you gotta love the struggles. Because that makes it fun. I had periods in my life where I did not do anything, just lie down in my bed, and there were no struggles. And that is when you crave for struggles, actually. That is when you realize that, okay, no, I think I need the struggles, because that is what makes life exciting. So
That's true. That's true.
Do you feel you are also that person who consistently wants to do things outside of the comfort zone? Otherwise, you feel like life is getting too boring?
I was. Now, I don't know. Life is like this. So when I was here, I needed to do things. Yeah, I needed to get out of my comfort zone, because in the past I've gotten out of my comfort zone in multiple, approaches or multiple situations where because when I dropped out, first time when I dropped out from NIT Allahabad, that was dropping out of my comfort zone. No, it was not a comfort zone, but it was going out of my setting. And then when I went to Nepal, I also did the first public TEDx event in Nepal. So that was getting out of my comfort zone, just to get to know myself again. Now my period is here. I'm just, I'm into my comfort zone again. But I think when this period comes again, I'll get out of my comfort zone. And that is when the TEDx thing comes in. Here, doing it here.
So TEDx is the thing that you do to get outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, because it is something that adds immense value in your life. It's a challenge, when you take up to it. A lot of things can go wrong in that, but when you do it, you feel very, energized after that, because things happen for you. People know you, and you create something for the community, and TEDx is that opportunity. So maybe doing it here is something
or you
that.
could start a podcast.
Oh yes, I had thoughts, but never had the courage to. Now I think eventually I'll have the courage to do that.
Yeah.
Seeing you guys, learning from you.
Speaking of courage, how did you get the courage to literally drop out of a college? Because that's literally against the norm, and like especially coming from a South Asian background, when you even tell your parents that you want to drop out of a college, the reaction is usually pretty negative. How did you deal with that?
It's like going crazy, just going against the norm is how you get out of it. Because when I went to India, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, or I'm not saying it's a bad place, but some places are not meant for you. Now, when I went to NIT Allahabad, the first day I landed there, the energy did not quite set with me. Because when my roommates came in, they're just talking about grades. I was like, what, man? Okay, it's fine. The grades are fine. You got in, you did your thing. But now you're here. You need to learn something new, right? And then when the study thing started, it's all about rote learning. The professors, they come in, they just write their thing in the board, and then you just have to copy that and go back to your room, study the shit out of that. What's the point? What are you learning? And then I realized, nah, this is not for me. And I just said, shit, let this go. No attachments. I had no attachments.
How soon into your college did you decide to drop out?
1 year.
So you gave it a whole year?
Yeah. So I dropped out twice. Okay. I dropped out twice. And the funny thing is, it's I'll say God playing games with me. I got into NIT. It's a prestigious university, right? Yeah. So, and then I dropped out of NIT 6 months into that. I went on to give another very difficult exam in Nepal. So that's one of the competitive exams in Nepal itself. It's called IOE. I sat for that. I did not study. I did not do anything. I fucking cracked the exam.
You're just a genius, aren't you?
No, I'm not. Literally, I'm not. I was shocked. Because my entire life I've failed in my exams. I'll tell you my class 12 board's exam result. It was maths. I'll start with English. Yeah, English 95, chemistry 80, physics 82, physical education 80, computer science 90, maths 8. I failed in my board's exam. Okay. 8. And you know what I did for my maths exam? I did not study. The thing was, they said, we knew that it was best of 5 thingy in CBSE, right? So I said, I've already passed. Maths, okay, I'll just go. I did one question out of part C question out of 8 marks. I just did that one. I got 8 and that's it.
But you still have to pass in that final
subject. I was crazy at that time. And then there's another funny story to that.
Wait, you basically didn't try.
I did not try. And my father and my mother, when they saw me, okay, the board results, the results came in and they were like, my father asked, how much did you get? I was like, I got this percentage. I'm like, okay, but I failed in maths. This doesn't make sense. And when I went to my school, they had a list of top 20 students, okay, who did good in their board exams. Good. I saw the list. There was another list of the students who just appeared for the exam and their grades were printed in that. I started from the list below. I saw niche se dekhte. I'll just go from down. I saw, I don't see my name. I was like, oh shit, maybe I failed. That's why my name is not there. And then I went on to the first list. Okay, 20, 19, 17, Mohit Sirohi. Percentage this much. I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. Because they calculated the best of 5 percentage. And I was like, okay. And then I resat.
You had to.
Yeah, I did sit for another exam. I cleared my maths exam as well. And then I got into NIT. Because they have this thing when they ask you to clear your exam first. And then only get into the whole course. You can start studying. You will study there for 1 month. I started studying. And then my results came in. I just had to submit that. And that happened.
But the point is, when you told your parents that you want to drop out, what was their reaction?
They said, do it. If you don't like it, do it.
Really?
My father was a bit hesitant at first, but my mother, she was a teacher herself. So she said that if you don't really enjoy this, don't do it, because you have to do it for the next 4 years or so. And then I said, okay, thank you. Maybe I'll drop out. And then I dropped out.
Interesting. And so then what did you do instead?
I studied again. So when I went back to Nepal, I did the exam. I cracked the exam again. I studied there again and I dropped out. And then I realized, okay, maybe engineering, not right now. That's not for me. Because rote learning, I could not do that. I'm nothing against rote learning, though. Nothing against engineering. Just not for me. And then I said, okay, maybe I'll get into a private institution. I went into a private institution. I started working as well. I did my startups. Then I started my own NGO. It was called Reimagining Society. And that project grew. It grew like crazy because, I met my co-founders in an UN conclave in Malaysia. So I met them and all 3 of them were, they're PhD holders. And I was just a guy who dropped out studying my bachelor's again. So we started, then it started working, that project, and I started working on that project. I did my bachelor's in IT again. I cleared that and didn't drop out. Finally. Now I cleared my master's. My parents are like, oh shit, man, they're coming here in this May, and they're like, we're going for your master's graduation now. Did you graduate? I'm like, I told you guys. Maybe I'll do my PhD soon, huh? And now look, this time when I went to Nepal, we went to this mountain. It's called Kalu Pande in Nepal. It's a very good, beautiful place where you can see whole Kathmandu from there. And my friends, I just have three close friends with me. We went there and then we had a chat. They said, yeah, throughout the life I failed. Did you ever imagine that I will start teaching? Yeah.
I know, right?
Now I'm a teacher. In exams, I used to ask answers from you guys. Now I'm teaching and you guys are in business. What is this? What is life? And we had a good laugh from there as well.
That's actually crazy. You went from someone who's dropped out multiple times and now is a lecturer.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Life's crazy. That's why. See, you gotta love life. That's why.
I like that.
I love that. But we know about your journey from your dropping out stories to when you got to Australia. But tell us a bit about your journey in Australia, because we know you've done some really cool stuff in Australia as well.
Yeah, Australia was fun. Australia was a plan that I did not have for a long time. It was a short plan. And then I said, okay, maybe I'm going to Australia. I got into uni of that date. I just applied and then got into that. I got an offer letter and I said, I'll come. Out of the blue. I got the visa. I'm here. The first thing I realized when I landed in Australia, and being a migrant, I think people can relate with this, is the first day you land, people will tell you one thing. Australia is very hard. Do whatever you get, just do it. They don't consider the skill set you bring with you. They just say that, okay, maybe they suffered, then you have to suffer too. And that's the mindset you have. And the day you land, you will get this thing from someone.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, man. Shit. I'm like, no, I cannot do this, because I worked as a mortgage broking assistant in Nepal. So I brought that skill set with me. I had a thought that, okay, maybe this will help me when I come here. So I brought that skill set. I wanted to explore that. But people started saying that whatever job you get, do it. What you can say is, try for 1 month, at least explore yourself first. And then if you don't get it, do anything. Nah? And that was the approach. And I said, no, I'll do it. Then I got into mortgage broking. I started calling all the mortgage brokers, Nepali mortgage brokers.
From
the starting. The second day or third day, I started calling everyone. Because I'm like, no. The first day I got a job because I knew someone here. I worked in a place called River Cafe. I worked as a waiter. But I could not see. I did not have the skill set for that. And being a server or a waiter, it's a very heavily
customer service job.
It's a customer service job, and you need a good skill set for that. I did not have that. I said, no, I'll leave this job. Again, I dropped out. And then I did my mortgage broking. I cold called and I got my first job. I worked as a mortgage broking assistant again. And a few months after that, I got another job as a broker's assistant again in the third largest mortgage broking company here called Keeland. I was based in Glenelg, and then I worked there for a few months, and then I got into my own college. I started as a marketing officer, and then eventually I took over the operations, and then I started teaching. Simultaneously, I was working. I was part of the community, very active in the community space, because I had that thought in my mind that, okay, when you come here, it's a new space and you have to create your own identity, because you don't know anyone. You don't have anyone here and you don't have any identity here. So you need to create that. And that was the first thought, and I worked on that.
I like that, because when you're moving to a new place, right, it's so interesting that when you are usually back home, right, people around you grow up with, they have some sort of a notion about you, and that notion starts affecting your thoughts about yourself as well, and you start seeing yourself as how other people see you.
Yes.
But when you're an unknown in a different place, it can be when you're traveling, or it can be when you move to a new place, it's just you.
Exactly.
And no one around you knows you.
Exactly.
So it's on you who you want to be.
Yes.
So then you get the opportunity to be who you really are,
Exactly.
and be authentic. and then create your new identity around that. It's so interesting. I love that.
It is a lovely thing. And the thing you said, that people have a preconceived notion about you in your home, that can be a motivating factor as well. Because if you're doing really well in your home and people have that thought in the mind that, okay, this guy is doing really well, that sets up an expectation in your mind that I need to do good here as well. I cannot be an average guy when I come here. I had an expectation or a set standard here. Now I need to either surpass that or at least maintain that standard here. So that's something, you can take it as a motivation as well from where you come.
Yeah.
And I did
That's
that.
true.
Yeah, that's cool. And then, okay, so you've gotten into teaching. You obviously now teach other students.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy for someone who's dropped out.
I know, and failed.
I can't get over that you just went to don't want to answer one question. Like, that is so crazy.
Yes.
But then when did you start getting into entrepreneurship?
Okay, so my first entrepreneurship project can be TEDx when I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first project
So
I
you,
did.
you basically organized a TEDx
Yes,
conference
yes.
in Nepal.
Nepal, yes.
Yeah.
And then that was my own first project. And being an 18-year-old, when you go out and talk to the big leagues and ask for the money, it's something that you learn, You don't get the money. They don't trust you because you're a young guy. They're like, especially in a country like Nepal or India, people won't trust you so easily when you're young. And that was a challenge, but I learned something from there. And that sparked something in me. So after that, it was all a lot of different projects. So many projects I did with so many people. Most of them failed. Trust me, because it's a part of the journey. Not everything will work for you. And sometimes you're not prepared as well. I was not prepared. The projects I did, I was never prepared. I feel that because I was immature at times, and I think a lot of us are. And that is where you learn for the next project. Because when I started my NGO, I was very immature. As I said, you're working with a bunch of guys who are like PhD holders, doctors, and your mindset is, still, you need to grow a lot of things in your mind, and you need to learn a lot of things. So yeah, that's it.
Why did you start an NGO?
NGO, I was very much into the space of well-being. Yeah, and then I went on to the conference, and that was based in the UN SDGs. So when I got there, they have a goal for global well-being, and what was that? I forgot the name of the goal. Goal for well-being and something. So it's based on well-being, and when I had a chat with them, they're like, okay, this is a goal we have, a common goal we have, and we can work on that because well-being is something. It's a diverse field. Healthcare, healthcare or well-being. Because my family comes from healthcare, I was very much into this space of well-being. So I said, okay, let's explore well-being, but from an NGO aspect, because we can work on this through multiple projects with the multiple projects we have in hand. So that's why we started an NGO. And that's that NGO, Reimagining Society, it's still registered in the Philippines.
Oh, cool.
So we have a proper NGO setup. It's not working, but we have it registered. And we had, in that NGO, we had people from more than 47 countries. Yeah, we were working together. The name was Reimagining Society. And if you look it up in Instagram as well right now, you can see, just type Reimagining Society, you'll see all the individual pages. Reimagining Society Pakistan, Reimagining Society India, Reimagining Society Kenya. And we did a lot of events, or not events, but projects that really stayed with me. One of the projects was the well-being of Yemen. Yemen was going through the worst humanitarian crisis back in 2020, and not all the Western medias, they were not covering that. We got hold of that, and we had a team in Yemen. So we had a person named Olga. She helped us organize a few of the campaigns there, and we did that. We did a lot of media literacy thing with CNN Philippines. So that was interesting. And then I came here, so...
You know what I love about you?
Yeah.
You're like, I want to do this, and
I'll
I'm
do
going to do it.
Yeah.
Big deal. And I feel like that is such a quality in a lot of people who actually try stuff and are successful. Like to succeed, you need to try.
Mm-hmm.
And to try, you just have to be like, yeah, fuck this. Let me just
Yeah.
Fine. Like,
What will happen? I will
what's
fail?
the worst that will happen, right?
You'll fail. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
You'll get over it.
Yeah.
Big
No
deal.
regrets. No regrets. At the end of the day, the one thing I realized, or my father told me, is that regret nahi yaar life mein. That's something you have to live by. Yeah. When you sleep in peace. You sleep with the thought that you at least tried in the day. And that's the philosophy I live by.
That is really cool. So, well, now that you have done NGO back in Nepal, now we know that you're working on another startup. Can you tell us a little bit more about that startup?
So I'm working on 2 projects. Okay, the other one is a stealth project, a stealth startup. I'm working on the background for that, and it's related in healthcare. Soon I'll be launching it, but when it's ready. The second project, the one that is already working outside right now, it's SustainaMatch. So SustainaMatch, it's, what would I say? SustainaMatch, it's open energies marketplace. That was SustainaMatch, but now with this space of sustainability or carbon credits or energies marketplace, it's very, it doesn't have a proper framework it works on. It doesn't have a mold as of yet. So it changes shape. Eventually it changes shape with time. So now the nature of the business is changing again. The marketplace is still there, but we are getting into sustainability consulting.
Yeah.
We're getting into ESG reporting, carbon accounting. So we're learning that. So that is what I'm doing with SustainaMatch.
Yeah, but okay, if there's this person who knows nothing about sustainability, right? And you have to explain them what SustainaMatch is in like 2-3 lines, how will you do that?
Oh, 2-3 lines.
Yeah, you have to be very creative here.
With SustainaMatch in 2-3 lines, I'll go back to the basic model of how when it started. It's a carbon credit marketplace, and carbon credit is easy. There's business A, business B. Business A is offsetting, it's emitting carbon. Now it needs to offset. There's a project here that has carbon credits. So this business can buy carbon credits from this project and offset their carbon.
Yeah.
So that is what SustainaMatch is in very simple terms. But again, as we discussed, this market is very tricky to understand. So you need to go a bit deeper to understand what this market is. But I think I did.
No, you did a great job. No, I think you did a great job.
Saji is just a tough one to impress.
I know.
No feelings.
Yes, ma'am.
You did well.
Thank you.
So then how did you get into sustainability? Because it's so like, what's your why? Why did you start this?
As I said, UN SDGs. I have a long relationship with UN SDGs because I had my knowledge in that previously.
What is UN SDGs?
UN Sustainable Development Goals, set by the UN. And it is to be attained by 2030, few goals. So I had the knowledge of that, and sustainability, it's a very broad thing. It's not a small thing. Sustainability has a lot of moving parts around it. So I was very fascinated by the term sustainability itself. And then I started exploring a long time back. And then while exploring, I got to understand the market of carbon credits. I was like, shit, I need to understand this. I'll take my time to first know the market, study about it, read about it. And then when I started reading, I was very fascinated. I loved the market. I said, oh, fuck. There's an opportunity because not many people are doing it. There are businesses that they are doing really well. There are businesses like Climate Trade. There are businesses like Pachama. It's a big market for them, the carbon trading. But I was very fascinated by that, and I started learning more and more. And I said, okay, maybe I should give it a shot because now I know the market, and not many people do that. So maybe I'll go out, simplify this process for everyone, and then start. And so my process is a bit different from the market norm. I studied the market norm first, and then I tried to eliminate the hard things and the unnecessary things, and then I created my own few easy process of buying carbon credits.
That's interesting. Yeah. And so while you are building this, what are the major challenges you're facing, especially as an immigrant? Because like building a business in another country as an immigrant is really hard. So what are some of the massive challenges that you face?
The mindset change first, as we said. The first day you land, the mindset that people want you to have is the first challenge you have to deal with, because you need to challenge your own mindset. You don't have to do whatever you get. You can do whatever you want to do. With time, you can explore that. So that's the first challenge. And that challenge will always sustain. People will always tell you that, okay, yeah, do a job, it's fine, do whatever you get. People will still do that because they don't understand. So that is the first thing. The second challenge would be, it's a new place for you. You don't know shit here. You don't know anyone. So that is one challenge or an opportunity for you to maybe all challenges are a form of opportunity, but that's the second thing you need to deal with. It's a new place for you. So you need to do everything from scratch. You don't have a place where you can fall back on. You need to create that for yourself first.
Which you have, because from what I know of you and I described you as well.
Yeah.
You've been part of multiple accelerators.
Uh-huh.
You've been part of the ThincLab incubator, which is the University of Adelaide incubator. You're a Startmate fellow as well. So tell us about that. Has that experience helped you build networks and helped you on that journey?
100%. It's a motivating factor, and these things, it will help you when you want them to help you. It's like if you are a part of them, if you think that, okay, once I'm a part of them, my business will work, it's not going to work like that. You can always be a part of a fellowship, and if you don't put in your effort, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
So again, it comes here in your thought, in your mindset that, okay, maybe I have to work on this first. And then these things will help me. It adds significant value in your journey though, because the networks you get from that. Diki Kura, the guy, I met him from a common connection from ThincLab. So these guys, these connections that you make, it comes from all these fellowships and opportunities like ThincLab. So it adds value, but you need to work.
Have to do the work.
Yeah, you need
Still
to
have to do the work.
Yes.
Active
It's like-
effort of networking and meeting.
Yes.
Like we did, like randomly messaged you on LinkedIn saying, hey, this is what I'm interested in. I saw that you're involved in this. Do you want to meet? Yes. It's interesting how many people I've met through just LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like if you don't put in the effort to network with other people, it's highly
never gonna make
unlikely
sense.
that you're going to create that network around you.
Yes. You got to put in the work. That's it. It's not like you just start and just create a Facebook page and just create something and then hope that
Something like that.
happen. No.
Out of curiosity, have you met a lot of immigrants in these
Oh,
fellowships?
yes. I met, okay, so a funny story. I was invited into the Parliament House to give a speech during Diwali.
Low-key flex.
No. Low-key flex.
Love that.
Yeah, casually.
Just,
Invited to the parliament to give a speech.
well, the premier was also there, by the way.
Yeah, the premier was there. The premier was there, and also the Minister of Multicultural Affairs.
Yeah.
Stop
Flex.
it.
Yeah, so I was there, and then I met this guy from India. He's been here for a very long time. His name is Rajendra Pandey, and he runs the World Hindu Economic Forum. And I also when I saw him, I met him, and I met a bunch of migrants there because it was a Diwali event, and I saw everyone is doing so many things. And these guys have been here for so long, and Rajendra sir, he's been a part of, I think, all the departments of the government here, and he's working on his own consulting firm as well. He's doing so many things. And I met a bunch of people through my community as well, from the Nepalese community. I've seen my community, people are doing wonders. You see them, they have crazy ass businesses. My college, it's owned by a Nepali guy. And now I am a part of it. I am a Nepali guy as well. So everyone has massive businesses here. And they did, they took up that challenge and they worked on that. So migrants, they're doing the thing here. I mean, everyone is, but still migrants they're doing wonders. And that gives you the inspiration.
It's so interesting to me because I feel like immigrants have such great resilience, and we talked about this in a previous episode as well, that if you're an immigrant, naturally you have a very high level of resilience and very high level of like getting through hard times and challenges, because naturally you face so many of them when you come here. And if you've survived that and you've built a whole life for yourself here, you know that you have it in you. All you have to do is just believe in yourself and actually take action.
Exactly.
So it's, as you said, like mindset. Working on that mindset is so important that if you've done that, you can do this. Like definitely do this.
Yeah. You've come across the seas to be in a whole fucking new country. You've taken the action now, and now don't give up when you're here. You're like, what we feel is like, okay, we have made the journey, now we are done. Now that's not the journey. Your journey has just started, man. You took up the first step. Now from here, it's a bloody long journey.
That's so true. But I actually had another question when you were talking. I realized that you just, your graduation for your master's is this year,
May,
which
yeah.
means you've been studying for the past 2 years.
Yes.
And you've been doing all these other things. You're teaching now,
Yeah.
you're a lecturer now.
Yeah.
How the hell do you find the time? Because a typical person, a student, right? You go to your studies, you do that, and then you go to your job, and then that's it, and then you socializing and you're sleeping. Like my undergrad, like that's all I was doing. And to do those 4 things, something had to get sacrificed on the way, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't fit all of that in and live a content life. Like it was really hard for me. But on top of that, you're working on all these extra projects, pursuing entrepreneurship. How do you do all of it?
It just happened. Trust me. Even I don't know how it happened, but it did.
But do you like follow a schedule? That
Nothing.
From this time to this time?
Nothing. No, nothing. I have a working time when I go to the office. I need to make money to pay the rent and everything. But apart from that, whatever comes, I go. No, I partied as well. It's not like that I partied. I did the thing. But when there was an opportunity presented to me that, okay, maybe you can be a part of this, and this is the time you need to put in, I took it. And sacrifices, everyone makes sacrifices in some form or the other. I could work more, I could make more money, but that is one sacrifice. Not a sacrifice, but an option I took that, okay, maybe I can be a part of something and maybe it can add value for me right now. It's not a monetary value, but it's something that can eventually benefit in the longer run. So that is what I did. And it was fun. It was fun. The parties were fun too.
That's interesting because it's for me as well. It was quite hard because when you're in uni, you don't really know how to manage time and how to manage your calendars, and like you have your timetable all over the place, and then you also have to go to work, so and also maintain social life and also do like home stuff, and it was very overwhelming for me. But I think now, after finished uni, now that I have a set routine on, I know what times I am working, then I know what times I can give to my business and have like social life maintained. So it's easier to manage my life given that I now have a routine. But when I didn't have a routine, oh my God, it was such a mess.
Messed up. The thing is, with these things, part of the reason I can say I could not focus properly on my project is I was doing too many things. Yeah, so that sometimes can also be a negative thing. Now I've cut down a few things. I am not a part of many things that I was part of. But, that's 2 aspects of things. Again, everything has 2 aspects, pros and cons. The pros was, at that time I utilized. I did gain that value from experimenting. So you need to experiment for a few time that you have in your hand. For a few years, for 2 years I experimented. I did anything and everything that got into my way, and then I just finished it. I did not become successful. My business did not start earning a lot. It did not grow in the pace that I wanted it to grow, but still added some value to me.
Learned along the
I learned. Now I focus on the business because now I have a lot of free time with me. I don't have to focus on the uni part.
Yeah.
And that empties a whole chunk of my time from the past 2 years. I was investing that time in the uni. Now it's free. So I'm utilizing that again.
Nice. And like, if you had to give this one advice to all the new immigrants who are coming to Australia, right? And they want to follow the path of entrepreneurship and like do something of their own, what would you tell them?
Just come and do things. Don't listen to people first. Listen to good ones. I rephrase that. Okay, listen, act where you have to act, but listen. And at the end of the day, do what comes from here. Originally, you have to think to your heart, you have to listen to yourself first. And always look inside that maybe, okay, I have brought in something with me. The ones who come here, they don't bring anything. They bring something with them. Everyone has something. So first, identify that. And then when you have identified that, okay, maybe I want to grow in this, do it.
Yeah.
Don't think. Then don't think.
Yeah.
Do whatever comes.
Yeah.
You're right, because like founders, not just founders, but everybody gets so many pieces of advice from so many different people, but that doesn't mean you take everything in. You take advice, you listen, but you then evaluate it based on your needs and your values and your beliefs, and then you take what works for you and then you leave what doesn't work for you. And like I think that's the best way to go for sure.
Yes, for migrants, for everyone.
For everyone, I think, for everyone.
But specifically for migrants as well. Kidding.
I have a question as well.
Yeah.
So I have a theory. Well, it's not a theory, but I think that 2 years into your journey into a new country, you start feeling homesick.
Yeah.
This is just what I have experienced when I stopped feeling homesick. But you are probably exactly at the 2-year mark. So how do you feel homesick after 2 years in Australia?
Fuck. I do feel, I feel the homesickness up until here now. Because the thing is, when I went to Nepal just a few months back, a few things happened in life, life, I expect things to happen in my life.
That's good.
A few things, yeah, that's good. And when I went there, a few things happened, and I was like, I started questioning myself again. Oh, I think I should be back in Nepal now. What am I doing there? And I see my family, I see my dog, my family again, my mother, my father, my sister, and my dog. I'm like, oh, I'm missing this, man. Yeah, should I be back?
Yeah.
And I was like, when I was at the airport this time, I was this close of going out of the airport, and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm not going back. Literally this close. I was like, oh no, I cannot go back. But then you come back into your senses and like, okay, you've built something there. Complete that. Don't be a loser again and go back. No. Drop out again. But yeah. Good one. Yeah, don't be that again. So that thought kept me, and then I got into flight. The first few days were torture. I did not do shit. I just went into the office. I was like, fuck, this shit again. But then Wednesday came, and my students, I met with my students, and then it was back to normal.
Yeah.
I was like,
it always takes a few days to
yes,
get back into routine.
to recalibrate yourself when you're here. Oh, I just had to meet my students. Then we had coffee, and my students, they are older than me. See, I'm 25 right now, and my students, they're 35, 36. One of them is I call them Dai and Didis. So Dai and Didi is a term in Nepali. Didi, you might know.
Of course,
Yeah,
Call Me Didi.
Call me
Like,
shit.
come on, come on.
That's why.
Didi means
Yeah, like, oh my god.
Shit, that was a bad question. to
Very
ask.
bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah, but Dai you don't know. So Dai is a term we use in
Let
Nepali.
me guess.
Yeah. Take a
Older
guess.
brother.
Yes.
Oh my god! I'm such a genius.
Genius, man.
Too good.
Too good.
It's like you should be interviewing me.
Should I come there?
Yeah, when he wanted to.
I have a question. Are you guys hiring? Because I want to be a part of the
Well, if
podcast.
you want to become the intern, for sure.
I will. I will.
Shoots.
I will. I can just sign the contract right now. Be an intern.
Really?
We have a deal. But yeah, the thing is, Dai and Didi story.
Yeah.
I call my students Dai and Didi. They're bigger than me. With our culture, from the place where we come at, you cannot, when someone is older than you, you cannot just call them by the name. If I find it so awkward, and okay, XYZ Dai, XYZ Didi. So it's very easy for me. And then we get along, that's why. And when I start teaching them, I am older than them. When I stop teaching them, I'm their smaller brother. I'm like, okay, I'm back again. Now what do you want to do? You want to go have coffee? That's how my relationship with my students is.
That's nice. That's sweet.
It's fun.
So
Yeah.
then if I ask you, tell me about your home, what comes to your head?
My
By
home.
that, 1 second.
Yeah.
Let's reframe that question.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
When we use the word home, do you think of Australia or do you think of Nepal?
I think of neither. And that's the sad part. When we move, I think at that phase, you were talking about that phase, right? Well, there comes a phase in a human's life when they're migrating or when they are somewhere, you figure out that you don't have a home anymore. So Nepal is no longer a home. It's home. It's where my heart resides. But practically thinking I cannot go back there for now because I've left things behind there.
But that means you don't consider Australia home.
Yeah, neither Australia because I'm working on it. And that phase you said, that point is a confusing point. And for me, I had this thought in my mind that I don't belong to one place. I'm a global citizen. I don't know why.
Me too!
High five. And that thought comes in naturally. You don't force it. And I'm not just saying it for saying it, but it comes naturally.
I agree.
Yeah. You don't get me wrong. My heart is in Nepal. I love that country and it will always be my country. But home, I have to build that home again.
I agree.
Yes?
I relate to you so hard right now, I cannot even tell you.
Home, we have to build. But again, when we think of a safe place or a place where I belong, that is where my parents are, my sister is, and my dog is. That's a place for me to go.
Yeah, so it's more so the people as
people,
well.
yes, people. Anywhere they are, it's home.
I think about this a lot, and I think about a life where my people, my family is in Australia. I have a house here. We live in Adelaide, beautiful house, and my family's here. Would that make my house a home? And
What do you get? What answer do you get?
I don't get an answer.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point where we at.
Yeah, it's such a common journey and a feeling for so many immigrants.
Yeah.
And it's a very conflicting place to be once you've left your home country, because at that point you feel like you belong in both places, but you also don't belong in either.
Yeah, it's a complex feeling.
Yeah,
it's a
right?
complex feeling.
Like we were just having a chat about this in the cafe, and I was telling Diva that it's so interesting that if you tell me, think of home, my India home will come to my head. But if you ask me where do I feel more at home, Australia would come to my head. And they're two different things. Because if you think more at home, Australia comes to my head because I feel like this is the life I've created for myself. It's been 6-7 years here. I have my job here, my friends here, my whole life here. Like everything is here. This is what feels like home to me now. Like this is where I feel like I belong. But when I have to refer back, like I say back home or I say home, and that's just, I don't think it'll go away. It'll just, it has to be just
Be
like
there.
that. Even though I feel like I more belong here.
Now.
It's interesting. Like you cannot explain this.
It depends on it's very subjective, I think, because
Again, yeah,
it's
you're
very
right.
subjective because people, they have their own circumstances and they leave something behind and they come here and they build a life for themselves here. They can call this place home. But for us, it's different, and then there's no home, but there's home. It's very complex.
I agree.
It's very
And
complex.
it's very individual, like it's different for each person.
Yes, it
Yeah.
will be different. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a puzzle, it's like a puzzle, because as we were discussing, when the parents and the family part is complete, you seek for your friends. Because I miss them, I miss them. The three of them that I grew up with, that connection you cannot build with anyone. That is what I realized.
I agree.
You'll have friends, you'll have a lot of people, you'll know everyone in the whole fucking country, but your friends won't be there.
Like
And that's
those who
something.
you grew up with, who
Yeah.
have seen your whole life.
They know you.
They-
know you. And knowing is something, we tend to not realize, knowing is a very complex thing, because when you know that person, you know that person. And the friends that you grow up with, they know you because they've seen you.
Yes, but then tell me, like that you've moved here and you've grown as a person here, but the person that you've grown as here in Australia, they were not there to witness your growth in another country, right?
Yeah.
So when you go back and you meet them, do you think that they've clocked this growth that you had here? Or do they see you as the old Mohit that you were?
That's a very good question. And the thing with that is, and there's a beauty to this, seeing me as the old Mohit is the beauty itself. Because sometimes when they have the fact, they will know that, this guy is doing this, and they just have to know that I'm doing good. And that's the beauty of it. When they just have to see that, this guy is doing good, now let's go back to the old Mohit. I'm a chill guy, I go there, I'm a very funny guy. With them, I'm very funny. So they miss that. And that fact I miss also. When we are with them, when you are with your friends, you just have to go back to your old self. You need to know that what you are now, you need to keep that reality in sync. But when you're with them, you have to be the old you. I don't know if I made sense, but
No, you did.
uh-huh.
It makes
bit.
so much sense. No.
Wait, sir. Don't go on Saji's expressions.
Oh, yeah.
No, because in my head, I'm thinking about myself. I'm like, okay, when I go back, my Chandigarh self comes out. How do I feel about my Chandigarh self now? This was anyway. That's a topic.
Yourself?
Yeah,
I have a Chandigarh.
Yeah. Tell me.
No, I just think that my Chandigarh self is a bit too loud. People who are listening, they're like, you're already loud. Like, yeah, louder than
That's
this.
good. Always. Be loud. I'm loud too. And I talk a lot when I go back to Nepal. I don't
Yeah,
stop.
big yapper, talking, shouting,
My friends tell me.
dancing.
Yeah, my friends tell where we sit in the car. Up to Poda. In Nepali, they say, अब भयो, चुप लाएर बस एकछिन. That means, now stop for a while, sit quiet for a bit.
I love that.
How's your... I forgot to ask, where are you from in India?
I'm from, it's very complicated, but
Uh-huh.
my family is based in Pune. So now,
Oh, shit.
Pune, you've been to there.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I keep forgetting. But I'm from India, from Pune. But I am more or less the same person
Yeah?
back home.
In
and,
Pune as well?
Yeah. I'm not very different. I don't think I have two versions of my personality.
Oh,
Like there's a version that comes out at home
Uh-huh.
with my family because that's my safest place.
Mhm.
Whereas like you know that you can be your most authentic self around them. But I don't feel like with my friends and stuff like I'm the same person. But that's just me.
That's just you.
Yeah.
That's
that's
very
good.
interesting. I love my Chandigarh version, but I think I like this version more. I feel like this version is more calm.
Yeah, for me too. For me, I'm silent. I'm just by myself, by my thoughts more. And that I think that's why when we go back, we are like, let this all out. Yeah, shit, because you won't get this opportunity there.
I agree.
You won't get the same car, right? Yeah. Sub bolo idhar doesn't feel right. That's.
चल गेड़ी पे चलते हैं.
I'm gonna sit
Gotta
with
sit
Mohit and see what happens.
For that, you need to come
It's
to.
your safe space.
For that, when you have to come to Nepal. I'll be like,
Nepal.
I'll be
In
very
Nepal,
bored.
Diva is anyway gonna go for the hike, so whenever she goes, she'll reach out
Fuck, you're
to
going
you.
to Nepal?
Want to go next year
Shit.
to do either
What are you waiting for? Next year. Go this year.
annual leave.
ये क्या बोलते हैं इसको हम? The term we have? Corporate मजदूरी. We
Yeah,
all do that.
yeah, corporate slave, yeah.
Corporate मजदूरी.
That's
Corporate
okay.
slaves.
But I think this is a beautiful note to end our podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
We've
you,
had
thank you.
Absolute best chat.
Uh-huh.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, please like, share, subscribe, and I'm sure Mohit you can find on LinkedIn.
Anyway,
Anywhere? Just look him up.
you can find me in Adelaide.
And Nepal.
Streets of
In the
Adelaide.
streets of Adelaide. Meet me. Because I'm a big fan of communicating, meeting. This social media, you can reach out to me there, but meet.
Yeah.
So meet me anywhere.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
guys.
we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.